In a peaceful forest where the trees whispered softly in the evening breeze, there lived a tiny ant named Pip and a magnificent elephant named Luna. Pip was the smallest ant in his colony, while Luna was the gentlest elephant anyone had ever known. Despite their enormous difference in size, they shared the sweetest friendship that brought joy to all the forest creatures. One warm evening, as the golden sun was setting and painting the sky in soft shades of pink and purple, Pip was resting on a smooth, round pebble near the old oak tree. Luna came walking by, her footsteps as gentle as falling leaves. She carefully settled down beside her tiny friend, creating a soft breeze with her long, silky ears. "What shall we do this lovely evening?" Luna asked in her kind, quiet voice that always reminded Pip of warm honey dripping slowly from a spoon. The little ant thought for a moment, watching the fireflies beginning to dance in the growing twilight. "Perhaps we could play hide and seek," suggested Pip. "The forest is so peaceful at this time, and the evening shadows would make wonderful hiding places." Luna's eyes twinkled like stars as she nodded in agreement. "That sounds wonderful," she whispered. "Would you like to hide first, dear friend?" Pip nodded happily, and Luna closed her eyes, counting ever so slowly. 1, 2, 3. Her gentle counting floated through the air like soft petals in a spring breeze. While Luna counted, Pip scurried about, looking for the perfect hiding spot. He passed by a patch of sweet-smelling violets, crawled under a blanket of fallen leaves, and finally found a cozy spot inside a curved mushroom cap. The forest was growing quieter as night creatures began to wake, and day creatures settled down to rest. "Ready or not, here I come," Luna called out softly, her voice carrying through the evening air like a lullaby. She moved with incredible grace for such a large animal, carefully placing each foot to avoid disturbing any of the forest's smaller residents. Luna looked behind the old oak tree, peeked under ferns that swayed gently in the evening breeze, and checked near the babbling brook where water trickled softly over smooth stones. All the while, Pip watched from his mushroom hideaway, feeling snug and content. The moon rose higher in the sky, casting silver light through the leaves and creating peaceful patterns on the forest floor. Luna continued her careful search, checking each flower and leaf with patience and care. Finally, she noticed a tiny giggle coming from the mushroom patch. "Could my dear friend be hiding under this lovely mushroom?" Luna asked softly, her trunk gently touching the cap where Pip was hiding. The little ant emerged, laughing quietly. "What a clever hiding spot," Luna praised, her eyes twinkling with joy. Now it was Pip's turn to count, while Luna looked for a hiding place. The tiny ant closed his eyes and counted slowly, feeling the cool evening air brush against his antennae. 1, 2, 3. Each number was like a soft musical note in the quiet forest. When Pip opened his eyes, he began his search for his enormous friend. Of course, Luna was not very hard to find. She had tried to hide behind a young maple tree, but her gentle gray sides peeked out on both sides. Still, Pip took his time, pretending to look in all sorts of places. He checked under leaves and behind stones, in flower patches and near the stream. All the while, Luna tried her best to stay still, though sometimes her trunk would sway gently, or she would let out a tiny, happy rumble. Finally, Pip approached the maple tree. "I wonder if my dear friend Luna might be behind this tree," he called out softly. Luna stepped out, her eyes filled with warmth and joy. "You found me," she whispered, careful not to disturb the evening peace. As they played a few more rounds, their movements became slower and more peaceful. The forest grew quieter around them, with only the soft hooting of owls and the gentle rustle of leaves in the night breeze. Luna's hiding places became easier to find, and Pip's searches became sleepier. After one final round, Luna noticed her tiny friend yawning. She carefully lowered her trunk to the ground, creating a perfect curved path for Pip to climb up. "Perhaps it's time for us to rest," she suggested softly. Pip nodded sleepily and crawled onto her trunk. Luna carried her dear friend back to the ant colony, moving as smoothly as a cloud drifting across the night sky. The stars twinkled above them like countless fireflies, and the moon cast its gentle silver light upon the peaceful forest. As they reached Pip's home, Luna carefully lowered her trunk. "Thank you for a wonderful evening, my friend," she whispered. Pip smiled sleepily and waved his tiny antennae. "Sweet dreams, Luna," he murmured, before disappearing into his cozy home. Luna walked slowly back to her own resting place, her heart full of happiness from the simple joy of playing with her friend. The forest settled into its nighttime quiet, with all its creatures drifting off to sleep under the watchful gaze of the moon and stars. And so ended another peaceful day in the forest, where the unlikely friendship between the tiniest ant and the largest elephant showed that the sweetest connections can form between the most different of friends, especially when hearts are gentle and kind.